the story, and he promised at the time to find a permanent solution to the annual ritual. Now, unfortunately, these items, some of them, have turned out to be expired. Rafiq Salam, a man in the Upper West region, spoke to some of the recipients of these items. Listen.
The relief items donated include bags of rice, vegetable cooking oil, maize, clothing, blankets, and polymats. However, their joy was short-lived after some of the items, especially the vegetable cooking oil and the mini bag of rice, turned out to be expired. The expiry date on 2 of the bottles from 2 different homes has different dates, but both expired. First September 2018, whilst the other is 28th August 2018. 46-year-old tailor and father of 7, Adam Abubakar, narrates how he and 4 of his children fell ill after consuming the rice cooked with the vegetable cooking oil.
I had a running stomach. I was asked at the hospital what I have eaten. I told them. I asked my wife to throw them away. Relief items are meant to help us, but if it is making us sick, we have to leave them. My children were hospitalized as a result.
The opposition National Democratic Congress in the Upper West region has meanwhile at a press conference waded into the issue. Prosper Poire is the Upper West Regional Communications Officer.
Calling on the Vice President to come out with contrite hearts and apologize profusely to the good people of the Upper West region. The regional NADMO boss must be relieved of his position with immediate effect.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam.
Rafiq Salam there with that report. You're still listening to the Super Morning Show on Joy FM. Now, NADMO has been speaking since this particular incident occurred, or this occurrence was discovered, and they released a statement. Anyone has the details of that statement for us? Anyone?
Okay, so it says the attention of the National Disaster Management Organization has been drawn to a social media speculation that the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana donated expired oil to the Northern, Upper East and Upper West regions in his recent tour of the affected areas of the recent floods in the 3 northern regions. We state emphatically that no such thing happened in the Upper East and Northern regions. Again, for the record, all items distributed in the 3 northern regions were not purchased by the Vice President's office, but were all supplied from the National Disaster Management Organization's warehouse. However, for the records, after the exercise, our attention was drawn to the unintended addition of 6 expired boxes of oil to the stock that was distributed in only 2 places in the Upper West region by our stores manager in the Upper West region. The regional stores of the Upper West region had taken stock of items since the beginning of the year and had recorded some expired items on the 28th of August 2018, out of which 6 boxes of such expired oil unfortunately found its way into the stock of items that were distributed in the Upper West region due to the haste with which the items were assembled to respond to the emergency in the region. NADMO fully takes responsibility for the said mistake and assures the general public that no such unfortunate incident will recur. Thank you. It's signed by George Kojo Ayisi, who's the Director of Communications, NADMO Ghana.
Okay, take me back to that section of Mr. Ayisi's statements where he explains exactly how those 6 boxes of expired products were unintentionally added to the relief items.
Okay, he says the regional stores of the Upper West region had taken stock of items since the beginning of the year and had recorded some expired items on the 28th of August 2018, out of which 6 boxes of such expired oil unfortunately found its way into the stock of items that were distributed in the Upper West region due to the haste with which the items were assembled to respond to the emergency in the region.
And the regional manager was mentioned. One of the regional managers was mentioned, or the regional stores manager. Okay, get us that one. So, So quick run through this, Malik. First of all, they call this a speculation, the pictures that were circulating on social media. Then they deny that relief items were donated by the vice president. And then they say these items did not come from the vice president's office, or neither were they purchased by them. They were supplied by NADMO. And then they go on to say some items, expired items, were unintentionally added to this donation. I don't know at which, they didn't say at which point, whether it was before the vice president made the donation or after the vice president made that donation and the items were being given to them. And then NADMO as an organization takes full responsibility and explains that some expired items were found on the 28th of August 2018. Okay, so that's a wrap of what the statement says. The one who signed the statement, George AC, is on the line. He's the Director of Communications. Good morning, Mr. AC. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel.
In the first place, at which point did these expired items mix up with the items donated?
Thank you. At the point of loading at the warehouse in Wa.
At the point, so this was after the donation, official donation?
No, prior to the donation, we had to load the items onto a vehicle and move them to the point for donation. And so, in the process of loading, some items had been identified as expired and then separated in the warehouse. And unfortunately, 6 cartons of the oil were loaded onto the vehicle, unknowing to the stores manager.
Thank you. Your statement says that it's on the 28th of August that you discovered some of your items were expired. Why did we not discard them at that time, and why did we keep them till now, in September?
Yes, standard procedure. Daniel, you know, we are a government agency and our funding is from the government, and so processes must be followed. When you identify that the items are expired, you separate them and then notify the internal auditor. The internal auditor then comes to ascertain that indeed they are expired and gives you the clearance to dispose of them. And so that had not been done yet. And the regions don't have internal auditors. And so that's how come the items were still in the warehouse as of the time they were being loaded.
So when you say this has not been done yet, you mean informing the internal auditors or separating them, or the internal auditors coming to see it?
Had been done. Getting the internal auditor to come and then do the authentication and then giving the order or clearance for the disposal of the items had not been done.
So they had been separated. How were they mixed up with the items that were going to be donated?
Yeah, in the same warehouse, you know, the stores manager will tell the boys who load the items onto the vehicle that load these items. And he must be sure that indeed the items that are being taken from the warehouse are actually loaded onto the vehicles. And so he goes to and fro. In the process, the boys that were loading, some strayed and thought those items were part of the items that they were supposed to load onto the vehicle. That's how come he alerted us, and we took full responsibility that indeed it came from our side. The mistake or the fault happened from our side, and so we took full responsibility for it.
Now, apart from the 6 boxes or the 6 cartons of oil, from our interaction with the persons who received these items, you understand there was also rice that was expired.
Yeah, we're now hearing that, but officially we don't have any such report from our sales stores manager that indeed rice were also expired. No, we don't have that. We hear rice and maize and coal. No, we don't have that official report. As we speak, we are getting ready to move to Wa. We were to be back to Accra today, but because of this situation, the Director General, who is also here, I'm speaking with you from Tamale. We've cancelled our flights, and then we are moving to Wa to see the situation and then see. We've heard some of the rumor that indeed some people have used the oil and are having problems. And so we want to see if we can meet such individuals and how NADMO can help them get full treatment.
Right. For these bags of rice, we understand that there's no expiry date written on them. Can you confirm this?
I'm surprised. So that's why I'm saying officially from our point, no, there's no defect with any rice or maize. Yes, indeed, part of the maize procurements, we asked the directors to procure some from their local markets before the time. So some were procured from the local markets in Wa, in Bolgatanga, and in Tamale. To be added to the stocks before we moved. We don't have any official report that we had defects or expiry items as far as rice and maize are concerned. And so I cannot say indeed what the speculations are is indeed the truth.
So will anyone be penalized for this action?
For now, yeah, we've accepted full responsibility. The Director General is leading a team which includes our Chief Accountant and our Director for Disease Epidemics. We are all here, and Director of Communications and Deputy Director General for Operations, Abu Ramadan. We are all moving to work this morning to see the situation. If there's a need for a probe to be done into the whole situation, we will do that. And if it's as a result of the negligence of somebody, we will not hesitate to do the proper thing.
Right, Mr. AC. So just to be clear, you are telling us that indeed on the 28th of August 2018, there was some expired cartons of oil were found in your stores there. Unfortunately, those cartons of oil, even though they had been separated, were loaded onto the truck and donated to these persons, supplied by NADMO, donated by the Vice President. And then you're going on to say that you're currently on your way to look at what next will be done by NADMO, and that is when you'll be able to establish if you would investigate this matter or probe it for someone to be penalized.
Oh, no, we are going there to get the issue at first hand, what actually led to this situation, everything. We want the full, we've been briefed, but we want to go there and then see how, we can retrieve the items, the oil that has been distributed. People know the people that the items were given to. And so we see whether we can retrieve all the expired items, that's the bottles of oil. Get them either using the radio or community house-to-house visitation to see if we can get them. And then two, those that are being alleged that were affected by the use of the oil, we see how we can help them because we came here to help and support them. And so we didn't come to cause them problems. And so if as a result of doing our work, an incident of this nature, unfortunate incident as this happened, we've taken full responsibility and we want to go and see how we can help better the situation for them.
Thank you very much, George AC. He's Director of Communications for NADMO, National Disaster Management Organization, and he was briefing us on the latest on that matter of the donation of expired items to flood victims in Wa. So a wrap of the conversation that we had. First of all, these items indeed expired on the 28th of August 2018. They were separated to be discarded of through procedure that is known for government agencies. And the auditor has indeed come and ascertain, of course, so that someone doesn't say items are expired and makes away with them. And unfortunately, these were loaded onto the truck that was carrying the item to be donated. They were eventually donated, and NADMO is currently on its way. NADMO leadership is currently on its way to take action on this matter. Let me come back to the studio in this matter, beginning with you, Raymond. So in the first place, expired items ending up with flood victims. That's very serious, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not sure that's the intention that anybody, even for your worst enemy, especially when they are in such a catastrophic situation, you would want to give them something that they cannot consume to keep them alive. And that's actually the intent. And I doubt it very much if anybody would deliberately do this, because the action really can lead to the death of the people involved, can cause them serious failure of some organs if possible in this particular case, and they can be ended up in the hospital. Let's be clear, these are people who are already devastated. They may not be able to pay their bills, and this will be a very bad situation for them. I am also minded that, and I get the point that they say they are going to act, but I think the action rather rests with the law enforcement agencies to investigate this matter. Let me read you what the Public Health Act in 2012 Act 861 says in 101. Indeed, it says that a person commits an offense if that person sells or offers for sale food that is not of the nature, substance, quality, or prescribed standards. And it says in 102, Section 1, the one I just read to you, applies to a food intended for human consumption, which is A, offered as a prize, grant, donation, or reward in connection with an entertainment to which the public is admitted, whether or not payment of money is done. And it says B, which is offered as a prize, grant, or donation, or reward, or given away for advertisement purposes, or in furtherance of a trade or business, as if the food were exposed for sale by the organizers of the said program. It also says that in this particular case, you can define entertainment to mean a public or social gathering, amusement, exhibition, performance, sport, or game. What I'm trying to say from this is that laws frown on deliberately distributing expired products, especially when it's a food consumption. It was food for consumption, and this is how they should take it serious and get to the bottom of the matter. I would doubt very much that it will be a deliberate decision of anybody in this case because it will be the worst form of inhumane practice you want to subject people who are already flat victims to under the circumstance. Just that I think the due diligence required was not properly done, and we do that a lot in this country. We put people in harm's way for no reason. We are not as meticulous as we are expected to be under very important circumstances like this. And you see how good relief has turned into bad story. What would have been a normal process all through. Before I even left off this point, how many people before they purchase any good or product or receive any check the expiry date? I think the people were studious enough. They were writing, checking these expiry dates. It's something that doesn't happen. I did some study some time ago at the, Accra Mall. And the study concentrated on knowledge on consumer protection laws in the country. It was terrible that many people, even with university degrees, did not really think that checking the expiry date was the first thing they would do when they picked up a product.
It's something that could save your life.
Yeah, but it's also a matter of trust, isn't it? You don't go into a store thinking that they're going to be selling you expired products. I'm just saying, so you put the burden of, I'm saying from the other side of this discussion, you put the burden of checking on the expiry date on the person offering the service.
But in the end, you are the one consuming.
Yeah, so you're ultimately responsible. So but I'm saying that
responsible. Yes. Malik, I was thinking through what Raymond was saying about how it can't be deliberate. I mean, yeah, but good intention in itself, some would say, is not enough. There must be attention to detail so that especially when you are dealing with human life, so that the person who receives this, like Raymond pointed out, gets the full extent of your good intention.
Yes, it can't be deliberate, but it can be negligent. And I think that in this case, you can clearly see indications of negligence, because if as of August 28th, you found out that some products were nearing expiry and I'm saying nearing expiry because if you look at the expiry date, some of the oil products expired on 1st September, not August. 1st September and 10th September. This is the dates I have seen. One date was 1st September 2018. There's another one which was 10th September 2018. You have to remember that the donation was done after these dates. So if in their statement they state that they found out that the products were expired by 28th August, it means that they saw that given the dates of these products, they will be expired before they will be used. Therefore, declare them as unwholesome. If you declare the product as unwholesome, you should not leave it anywhere near any circumstance where it can be confused or mixed up with another product. You ought to have known. And especially when you brought in some other items that you were going to distribute, somebody should have had the presence of mind to be sure that once you have declared some of the products as unwholesome, that those products do not get mixed up with the others for distribution.
Right.
Yet that attention was not paid. That due diligence, as Raymond pointed out, was not done, and these products got distributed to people. Now you are at pains to explain that this didn't affect Northern and Upper East region, but it certainly affected some people in the Upper West region, regardless of whether it was consumed or not.
Right.
You distributed it. And when you say you have taken responsibility, what is the level of responsibility? Saying that we are responsible respectfully is not taking responsibility. You simply have absolved the vice president of blame, but nobody would have even blamed the vice president because maybe absolute responsibility he may take because you presented the items to him and he presented to the people. But saying that we take responsibility is not enough. Who is the persons whose negligence or failure to do due diligence led to this mix-up?
Okay.
How are you holding the person accountable that in the future all persons responsible for managing such affairs will be properly guided? That if you don't do due diligence and there is any consequence falling out of this, your head will be on the chopping block. I think we take too many of these things for granted, and we do this over and over again. Of course, let's commend the people for their vigilance in checking. And I check all the time. I was telling Raymond, I go to a shop, when I pick an item, I have to check the expiry date first.
Right. Thanks, Malik, for those thoughts. Anymore? Finally, Malik was asking the question that we should have had the presence of mind when we're loading the items, how the items were stored, expired items were stored, how far they were separated from the good ones, and when we were loading. The first thing that came to mind was that, is there a motivation to check and make sure that these things are not there? Is there sufficient deterrent to make sure that, look, I need to make sure that these things are not loaded?
I don't think so. Like Malik said, we're not really given to paying attention to detail. And because we know this about ourselves, I think it would have been the normal thing or the most, I don't want to say sensible thing, but I'm going to say it. The most sensible thing would have been to actually have a room for expired products that is locked up, and is totally separate from everything else, so that in the hullabaloo and the rush of things, nothing gets mixed up, and then we have situations like this. And I was asking Raymond, whilst Malik was talking, that if oil, for example, has expired like 10 days ago, what's the big deal? Because, we know that some products have best before dates and some have expiry dates, and then if it's best before, you know that within a few weeks after the best before, you're kind of good to go. And sometimes we're not. Please, those of us who live in the real world, this is how we think. Please,
except that this one is expiring.
Yes, I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with it. So I asked Raymond about why oil will cause such a reaction if, like you said, the expiry date was 1st September, 10th September, and he was explaining about the trans fatty acids and the fact that because of what the oil contains, so they react with the body very quickly. My point is that when we know that we have these kinds of things, and it's important that we put measures in place so that things like this don't happen.
And this is a national disaster management organization,
and they've caused a disaster.
Right. One point though, we need to wait for some form of medical advice by the doctors looking at these people.
Yes.
You see, sometimes coincidences do happen. 1,000 people may consume something. 2 people may be taken ill. Immediately, we may connect the two.
But there may
be
to
no remote connection between the two.
That's true.
So we ought to actually get to the bottom of that matter differently.
Right. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing your thoughts on this matter. We have been speaking with George AEC. He is the head of communications at the National Disaster Management Organization. I think that it comes down to what we are willing to condone as a people. I'm very sure that even listening to us now, some people would say we are making a big deal out of nothing. To be honest, I haven't received any text or any message from anyone suggesting that. But really, if we are able to say that, they just mixed it up, they just mixed up the few boxes, it's okay. It's very easy to come to that point of sense of thinking when you are dealing with assassination. But if you think about the collateral damage, someone consuming that, and really it only takes one thing to go wrong before you realize how important it is to pay attention to detail and to follow due process in these things. So I think it's a lesson for all of us, whichever sector you're in. How much attention do you pay to detail when you are working, whatever it is that you do? Because we can't just look at the NADMO people in the Upper West region and think that it's removed from us. Those of us here sitting in the studio, how much attention do we pay to the details of what we do? It's an attitudinal thing, and of course we must demand the highest of standards from the public, from our elected officials and those who work with them. But we ourselves must also demand that from ourselves. It's time for the Joy Business Minute, and then would go for Corruption Watch. So on Corruption Watch, we have an important update on those missing helicopters from Ghana National Gas Company. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Joy Business